Hey Frank, couples counselor here. I want to talk today about the power of checking in with your wife on a routinely consistent basis. I want to say daily, but sometimes it might not work like that. But this is one of those things that husbands must do consistently. And part of the reason is this: why do we need to do check-ins? And when you hear check-in, it's literally that you're checking in with your wife. The reason why we need to do check-ins is a study that was done with Modern Family Law. It says that on average, when it comes to an American couple in 2024, so this is not a long time ago, this in 2024, a couple spend an average of 2.5 hours a day. And when it looks at that average, it looks at that time between husband and wife where they include things such as eating meals together, watching TV together, doing housework together. So they put that all together. It doesn't mean they're paying attention to each other. It just simply means that they are together, maybe watching a screen or doing some kind of activity where they're not really listening or paying attention to each other, but they're doing things together, which is good. However, there's no focus time where they're turning to each other and hearing each other out. An average of 2.5 hours a day. That includes all those activities. And as of 2024, the crazy thing in all of this is that there are an average of 86 divorces every hour. 86 divorces every single hour when it comes to the United States of America. Just let that sink in. 86 divorces an hour every day. That's what the average is. This is so important because clear communication, turning towards each other, having these clear communications in order to maintain healthy, vibrant, intimate relationships with your wife is so important. This topic is so crucial because we get into these relationships and we say I do at the altar and we make all these amazing vows towards each other, yet 86 divorces an hour happen in the year 2024. And the obstacles could be legitimate excuses, right? I got work, busy schedules. And then there's the other side of the spectrum where we're just downright lazy. Wherever we are, really busy to just lazy and making it happen and everything in between, this leads to divorces an hour in 2024. And so that's why checking in with your spouse on a routinely consistent basis leads to open communication. It leads to honest communication. It leads to a deeper sense of connection between you and your wife. It provides a chance to share your needs, your wants, your feelings, your fears, your concerns, your frustrations, your ups and downs, and just really through those sharings of those emotional connections, those vulnerable times, we draw closer. So the key in all of this is to have check-ins, as I talked about what this video is all about. So what are check-ins? What does a check-in mean? Well, a check-in means, well, there's different names, right? There's marriage meetings, there's check-ins, there's check-ups. God calls it the State of the Union meeting, right? Where basically you spend this significant amount of time, or even short amount of time, where we check in, we turn towards each other. It's a specific, dedicated appointment on your schedule that happens on a consistent basis, something that is defined by you and your wife and says, we're gonna carve out this time in our schedule on a consistent basis to check in with each other, to really talk about our relationship. And so the difference between the conversation between you and your wife versus a check-in is that we talk about, in check-ins, you talk about the relationship itself. You're giving each other full attention. There's no distractions. You're avoiding all the distractions, putting all the screens aside. You're finding babysitters. You're finding whoever it is to take care of all the other stuff that may cause your focus to be sidetracked, and you're just focusing on each other. Now, the length can be any kind of time. Could be 10 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 2 hours. It doesn't matter. What we're saying and what I'm saying here is that it's an allotted time that's focused on both of you, the relationship. Again, can be every day, could be every week, could be bi-weekly, it could be monthly. It's all based on the needs and what you want for your relationship. Is this time to have an intimate, close relationship, to talk about you, the both of you. What needs to happen is to schedule the check-ins. How do we schedule check-ins? How do we do that? I want to share with you 6 steps, and then I want to talk about what the check-in looks like. So stay tuned for that. But the way we schedule check-ins is, first of all, because you're hearing this for the first time, I would encourage you sir, to propose the idea to your wife. She will probably most likely be head over heels over this idea, because it's an opportunity for you to take leadership of the relationship and propose this idea. It says, hey, I want to start doing more consistent check-ins. We need to do check-ins more often, right? Explain the concept to her. Show her this video, and both of you guys watch it, right? And share with her how she feels about it. What do you think about us doing more consistent check-in, more routine basis? She might be skeptical because of other things that you tried in the past that kind of to the wayside and didn't happen. But this is what it means. I want to share with you how can we be more consistent. So propose the idea. Number one, propose the idea. The second thing is for the both of you to decide the time and location. When is this meeting going to happen? If you decide to do daily basis, what time, when of the day, and where in the day, right? And so the thing about this, when you decide we're going to have it on this certain time at this certain location, day of the week or whatnot, you're going to be very tempted to deprioritize. You're going to be tempted to deprioritize the check-in and put it off, or replace it with another activity, or replace it with something else. But making this meeting happen shows your wife that you're prioritizing her. This is what it means to put her first, is when you say, you know what, nothing's going to take the schedule that I have with my wife, because this meeting, this check-in is important. Why? Because she's important to me. Right, so scheduling check-in. The third thing, as I mentioned earlier, I alluded to, is remove all distractions. You turn off your phones, screens, any kind of TVs, whatever. This is the time to focus on her. You're fighting for your kids. You maybe put the kids to bed early, or you give it to the sitters, whatever it may be. This is where you remove distractions. And again, it speaks to the point that she is your priority. The fourth thing is treat the meeting as sacred. Again, do not replace this meeting with any other activity. This is a big appointment that you cannot afford to miss. The fifth thing is avoid arguing and fighting in this. Decide, we're not going to argue, right? This meeting is not the time to argue or fight, but this is a chance to strengthen our relationship, to work on the problems that we bring up, to find solutions and strategies, to compromise and all those things. This is not the time to fight and argue. It's a decision that both of you have to come to agreement about. We're not going to bicker. We're going to come to find solutions to our problems, right? Again, and then that's number 6. We're going to focus on solutions. We're focusing on solutions, not focusing on why she's the problem and why she didn't do and whatnot. We're focusing on solutions. So if there's a serious issue that needs to be addressed, you got to put that aside for later. Put that aside, park it in the parking lot, as they say, and we'll talk about that later. Today, this session, in this meeting, we're talking about solution. This is the time to work on you and your wife. This is the time to work on each other. All right, so what does that look like? Let me share with you the questions or the agenda questions that you're going to discuss, right? This is important. Stay through all of them, because each question is crucial in having to draw closeness in connection and having clarity of communication, all right? So the first question is this: what can I do to make you feel happy and appreciated? What can I do to make you feel happy and appreciated, right? This is not for you or her to create a long list. You got to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. That's not what this is, right? This is creating a simple list, maybe one, two things that makes a big difference in the overall happiness, right? It's that one or two things. And you could say, and you could bring up the highlight from the past week about what was that you really enjoyed, something that she did that you really liked, right? If you're a wife and you're watching this video, something that past week that you enjoyed that he did that brought you joy. This is where we get to compliment each other. This is where we get to highlight, high five, praise, compliment, appreciate, all those things, because what gets praised gets repeated. And so what gets highlighted gets repeated. So whatever you share, whatever you say, you liked it when you did this, I liked it when you did that, right? For example, hey babe, the compliment that you gave me the other day when I was on my way to work, I really appreciated that. Or honey, the kiss and the long hug that you gave me at the end of my day, that really meant a lot to me. Those small things matter, right? Those small things that gives you joy, repeat that. I like that. And so that's where we take a note, right? And again, see how if we add more to that, they could be very daunting. We can forget about all those small things. But what can you do What can I do, right? You're asking your wife this. What can I do to make you feel happy and appreciated? And let her share. What's that one thing? One, maybe two things. If it's hard to remember, stick with one thing. So this is again talking about, I wish we had a date night. I wish we could do date nights again. Or I wish we'd have special dinners with once a month. Or would love for us to have that get together with friends we haven't seen in a while, or these family members because we haven't have hung out with each other for a while, right? It's those times to bring in those things that would bring her joy, will bring each other joy in the relationship, right? Though, again, what can I do to make you feel happy and appreciated? Number two is, what you love most about our relationship. There's a lot of things that you could say about your wife, right? And the problem is we don't take the time to slow down and say those things that we love about our wife. And so it's important for us to slow down in the busyness of our day, in the agendas and the task list and all those things, because it can be easily forgotten. However, this is the opportunity to highlight those things and focus on the positives, focus on the strengths, and it's an opportunity to embrace her love more by having to bring up all those things. Talking about the strengths of your relationship. I think, honey, the thing that we're good at is really having to encourage one another. The thing we're really good at is taking action. The thing we're really good at is covering each other's backs, right? Covering for each other whenever, especially when someone is tired or when you ask me for help. I think we're really good at working together in that. I love the way you support the kids after a long day of work and you come home and you do all these things. Oh my gosh, I really enjoy that. I really love that. I admire that about you, right? What you love, the one thing I love about our relationship is this, okay? So it's important for you to highlight those things. Number one, what can I do to make you feel happy and appreciated? Number two, what do you love most about a relationship? And number three, how do you feel about our sex life? Now, this can be an intense topic, a very sensitive topic, because it could open the door to a lot of criticism. It could create discomfort. It's a really uncomfortable topic to discuss between other couples, especially if you haven't had it for a while, right? But it's crucial to share about what you desire in bed with you and your wife, right? Having this discussion can improve what happens, the intimacy in bed. It's so important to have this conversation with your wife because we know that sex is a core of the relationship. It's only to be shared with your wife alone. And so having regular meetings and talking about this on a consistent basis, whenever you have these check-in meetings, eventually what happens is you become more comfortable. You become more comfortable in sharing your desires that leads to fulfillment, a higher level of fulfillment in your marriage. So how do you feel about our sex life is a great question to ask when you're having these check-ins. Number four is, what do you need more of me? What do you need more of from me, right? We're busy, especially if you're a parent, right? If you're parents, there can be needs that get dismissed. There can be needs that can just be overlooked, right? And so having to be explicit about what you need. Maybe she may say something like, she may say, I need more of your time. I need more of your touches. I need more of cuddling. I need more of appreciation and compliments. I like when you compliment me. She may say those things, right? And it gives you an idea, okay, she needs more of that. I need to do that. That's kind of watering the plants, right? That's what she needs. And ask what she needs more of, right? What do you need more of from me? She may need, and allow her to share that. And because it's going to have your opportunity as well, absolutely, right? Hear what it is and then make it happen. If she says more cuddling, it is, right? You're going to be the cuddle buddy, right? If she likes, man, you're going to be appreciation genius. You're going to look for all the small things and bring genius appreciations her way. And remember that people have different ways of showing appreciation. I did a video on love languages. If you want to know more about that, the link in my bio, check the link in the description. I'm going to put it right over here as well. And so pay attention to her love languages. Ask her, maybe go through that curriculum, the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. What is her love languages, and do more of that. What do you need more of from me? Number 5 is where it gets kind of deeper. Number 5 is, are there resentments you're holding on to that we need to address? Are there resentments that you're holding on to that we need to address? This is where you really have to practice active listening. I did a little quick video on that to kind of give you more guidance about what active listening is, as well as another video on soft startups and how to present these tough conversations, right? So pay attention to watch those videos to kind of unpack more about active listening and soft startups, to be able to gently bring up a conversation that is tough, but yet brought it up in a way that's a conversation where we continue this dialogue between you and her. And this is where you work to understand her perspective. That's another video I did on understanding perspective of what she's going through, what she's thinking, right? So make sure you check the description box for the video links and get more understanding, because these are skills that you need in order to do a healthy check-in to help deepen the connection. The biggest thing in resentment is this: after active listening and doing the perspective understanding and soft startups, the biggest key in all this is you hearing all this, and then what? Forgiveness. Providing forgiveness to her. And saying, not just forgiving her, but asking for forgiveness. Because she, again, the question is, what are the resentments you're holding on to that I need to address, that we need to address? She'll share, hey, Frank, you said, or when you did this, it really hurt me, you know, A, B, and C, and this is your opportunity to genuinely come after with, I'm so sorry. I hear you, and that makes sense why you hurt that way. I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me? Right? It's just having to offer that forgiveness. I'm so sorry. Let's talk about how we can learn from this. And that's number 6. Are we learning from our mistakes? Right? You offer that forgiveness, and we talk about, are we what are we learning from this mistake? What am I learning from this mistake? Right? So reflecting, are we learning from our mistakes, is number 6, really is talking about reflecting on what went wrong and what can be done to avoid this pattern, this mistake from happening again, right? For example, you might say something like, hey, I forgot to pick up the milk again. You told me to go pick up the milk and I got caught up at work. I was so busy and I forgot. Man, what can I do to remember this, right? Now you're talking about strategies and solutions. And she may say something like, you know what? If you were to put your alarm to 3 p.m. when you finish work, and the alarm would be labeled pick up milk. I don't know, but just having to work through a strategy, a solution together, so that way we don't keep on repeating the mistakes. But it's having to open up the conversation for you to find solution on building the marriage together. Number 7 is, what do you want to accomplish in the future? Remember that marriage is like a team, right? You and her, it's a team. We're working together. And so I love this dialogue as a closer to this conversation, because it's about the goals, it's about the dreams, it's about what you want to happen and what you both want to happen and work towards together. Maybe it's buying a house. Maybe it's a trip that you guys will always both want to go to Tahiti, right? Maybe it's a hobby that you guys want to work on together, a project, something for that trip you want to go. I don't know, whatever. Starting a business together, right? It's having this conversation about a dream, goals that you want to build together, right? And so having this conversation and asking her the question, what do you want to accomplish in the future, is a huge question to have in these check-ins. So I would encourage you to take this video and sit with your wife and rewatch it again and have a conversation about it. Take notes on this video and take it and say, let's do this. Let's try this. I would challenge you to try this for the next 3 months. Just 3 months. See how it goes. And then reevaluate. Did we draw closer? Did we grow nearer? Did our marriage strengthen because of these conversations? Right? Try it out and see how it helps. And I would encourage you, if you've been really enjoying these videos, subscribe to my channel and comment on the video if it has been helping you. And if you have any questions or any other questions about relationships and marriage, I would love to serve you in your marriage. Because if I can help the marriage, I can help the family. If I can help the family, we can begin to change our communities. Hope this helps. Enjoy life. Take care.